Good morning, everybody. Today I'm introducing the PAP slate of candidates in Ang Mo Kio GRC, as well as in Yio Chu Kang, Kebun Baru, and Jalan Kayu SMCs. First, Ang Mo Kio remains a 5-member GRC. We are refreshing the PAP team. Our candidates will be me, Jasmine Lau, Victor Lai, Daryl David, and Nadia Samdin. Daryl, Nadia, and I are seeking re-election. We've done our best to improve Ang Mo Kio and to serve the residents over the years. And we ask for your continued support in this election so that we can continue to do so. Joining the three of us will be Jasmine Lau and Victor Lai. Jasmine has been a public servant for close to 2 decades. She spent time in different ministries and stat boards, including the Economic Development Board, and most recently, she's been a Deputy Secretary in the Ministry of Health. She will bring fresh ideas to improve residents' lives, mobilize people, and make things happen. Victor, you will all be familiar with. He has been chairman of the PAP Bedok Reservoir Punggol branch in Aljunied GRC for 13 years, since 2012. He took charge of the PAP team in Aljunied GRC and led it to contest the past 2 elections. I first got to know him many years ago when he was a young officer in MTI. And subsequently, he went into the private sector and built a career in banking and finance, in healthcare, and in insurance. They will say a bit more about themselves later on. Let me now introduce our candidates for the SMCs. Ng Chee Meng will stand in the newly formed Jalan Kayu SMC. And this is newly carved out from Ang Mo Kio GRC. Chee Meng served as an MP in Pasir Ris Punggol GRC from 2015 to 2020. Then in 2020, he contested in Sengkang GRC, but unfortunately, the PAP team didn't win there. Nevertheless, Chee Meng had the grit and the sense of responsibility to continue serving in NTUC as its Secretary General. And he continued to receive the support of the labor movement. Together with other NTUC leaders, he led the labor movement to play a key role during COVID. NTUC and the labor movement worked closely with the government to save jobs, to push for skills upgrading, to administer the Self-Employed Person Income Relief Scheme, SERS, and which helped many gig workers and self-employed people, and to set up company training committees to support businesses in transforming their businesses. And this made a big difference to our workers' lives and helped us to bounce back stronger after COVID. This time, the PAP has decided to field Chee Meng in Jalan Kayu SMC. Chee Meng has shown his mettle and will serve Jalan Kayu residents with equal commitment and dedication. Kwek Hian Chuan, whom we all know as Henry, will again stand in Kebun Baru SMC. He has served residents there for 2 terms already, first when it was part of Nee Soon GRC, and continuing after it was carved out to be an SMC on its own. Yip Hon Wing will stand again. Where's Hon Wing? Okay. Hon Wing will stand again in Yio Chu Kang SMC. He has served Yio Chu Kang residents since 2020, and this rounds up the PAP slate, 8 of us altogether for Ang Mo Kio GRC, plus 3 SMCs. Currently, Kebun Baru and Yio Chu Kang SMCs are part of the Ang Mo Kio extended family. We all work together in the Ang Mo Kio Town Council to deliver a wider range of activities and more efficient services for residents. And we intend to retain this arrangement and also to extend it to the newly formed Jalan Kayu SMC, provided PAP MPs are returned in the GRC and in all 3 singles. I would now like to say a few words to thank Gan Thiam Poh and Ng Ling Ling, who will be retiring as MPs. Ling Ling has served since 2020 in the Jalan Kayu division of the GRC. Her area includes HDB estates, including Buangkok Crescent, Serangoon North, and part of Hougang. and also private estates in Jalan Kayu, in Gerald Mugliston, Seletar Hills East, and Luxus Hills. Over the past 5 years, she's improved the area, overseen the upgrading of flats and precincts, brought to residents new parks and playgrounds like Luxus Hill Park and a new water playground at Buangkok Square Mall. And she's also introduced initiatives to build a better community, like the Jalan Kayu Community Health Club. Tiampo has been an MP since 2011. In 3 terms, he's looked after residents, first in the Punggol South Division of Pasir Ris Punggol GRC, then in the Sengkang South Division of Ang Mo Kio GRC, and in this last term in Fernvale Division, also in Ang Mo Kio GRC. He's improved the amenities there, for example, overseeing the completion of the new Fernvale CC, along with the Fernvale Hawker Centre and Market back in 2022, and also improved transport connectivity and bus services in Fernvale. His deep care for the community has touched many lives, helped him to bond with residents wherever he served, and been an inspiration for many activists, volunteers, as well as colleagues. And I know his residents will miss him. I'm very grateful to Ling Ling and Tiampo for their many contributions over the past years. They've put their heart and soul into serving residents. They've helped to build a better Ang Mo Kio, and on behalf of the residents and the party, I thank them all from the bottom of my heart. And we wish them all the best for the future. My team and I are committed to continuing to serve Ang Mo Kio and the residents to the best of our ability. Some of us, like myself, have served residents here for decades. Some not quite as long, but still 5-10 years at least. Some of us are just joining the team, but will bring fresh ideas and energy to do good for Ang Mo Kio. Over the years, we have spoken up on many national issues in Parliament, contributed to robust debate and improvements in government policy. The PAP team has also been busy on the ground, working closely with residents to improve lives. We've pushed the government to attend to the needs of our voters. We've steadily improved the estate and the amenities with government support. We've upgraded the flats and the lifts, built new CCs and parks, refreshed the markets and hawker centres, opened new MRT stations and lines, expanded bus services, and built a caring community. Our party branches and town council launched many programs and projects of our own to help residents cope with the cost of living and to take care of the vulnerable, the elderly, the families with young children. We've made Ang Mo Kio a happy place and a good place to live. We've set out in a master plan what we've done over the past 5 years, as well as clear plans on what more we intend to do if we are elected again. And these are, we put out a pamphlet which we distributed to residents, One Heart, One Home, of what we have done and what we will be doing down the road. And we've also set some of these out in the manifesto of the Ang Mo Kio PAP team. And both of these, there's a QR code here, can be found online. And I urge all residents to take a look at them. So I hope voters in Ang Mo Kio GRC and in the SMCs in our family will give us their mandate again, so that we can work closely once again to make this an outstanding town to live, work, and play in. Now let me ask my fellow candidates to say a few words each, and then we can take some questions. Jasmine?
All right, hi everyone. Thank you for your time today. First of all, I want to thank Tiampo, Ling Ling, their teams as well, for guiding a newcomer like myself, for helping myself settle in. The road is long, and I'm very, very grateful for the words and the encouragement that they have given to me. My name is Jasmine Lau. I grew up playing sports, netball in primary school, basketball in my 30s, and I still play competitively today. Netball is a sport where every player has a distinct role. My role is called the center, and my job is to move my team from defense to attack and to create opportunities for my shooter teammates to put the ball in. Our coaches have always taught us to play hard, but to also play with mutual respect, mutual reliance, and mutual gratitude. When I picked up basketball later in my 30s, I thought that the two sports are pretty much the same. You throw a ball around and then you try and put the ball in. How different could it be? I was wrong. They were two very different sports, and I needed new skills that I did not have yet. I needed to learn how to dribble the ball. I needed to learn how to shoot the ball. But what I brought with me was strong foundations, ball handling, court vision, and I understood teamwork. These experiences helped me to pick up basketball a lot more quickly. So for me now, moving from public service into politics feels a little bit like my transition from netball into basketball. For 19 years or so, I've worked on healthcare, manpower, and finance policies. I've had the privilege to engage many diverse stakeholders from around the world, look at the big picture, and then put these together to make sound policy decisions. These experiences are now the strong foundations that I bring into the new court of politics. And I believe that as I hone my skills, I will be able to serve Singaporeans effectively. Yes, there are new skills to pick up, new rules of the sport to learn, but I believe that I can learn them well. 4 years ago, my husband and I became parents, and today we have 2 young boys. They are aged 4 and 2. They are very cute if you get the chance to meet them, but they are always fighting. Those of you with children would know how that feels. My children remind me a little bit of my brother and I. My brother is a year older, and we were always fighting as well. We fought all the way until my younger sister was born, and my younger sister is 13 years younger than me. At that point, my parents said to my brother and I, well, now it's your job. It's your job to take care of her, to teach, and to nurture her. And suddenly, my brother and I discovered how each other's strengths can come together to help someone young and new to the world. We grew in our admiration for each other. Today, as 3 adult siblings, we also see how our unique abilities come together to take care of our aged parents. My brother handles the medical appointments, my sister gives them legal advice, I do all the paperwork, and together we protect them. We protect our parents from harm and from things like online scams. So as a family, what we found was also mutual respect, mutual reliance, and mutual gratitude. This is the Singapore that I yearn for. This is also the Singapore that I want to build with all of you. We have young children to teach. We have old seniors to take care of. And I hope that my children, together with all of your children, grow up in this Singapore, where our differences don't divide us, but are instead our source of strength. It has to be a Singapore where teammates from different backgrounds can also come together and achieve something far greater. Yes, Singapore will go through many tough times again and again and again. But I believe that the Singapore that we have will stand together stronger, with mutual respect, mutual reliance, and mutual gratitude. In the days to come, I hope to meet many more of you, especially Ang Mo Kio residents, to learn about your lives, your dreams, and your challenges. I look forward to serving all of you on the road ahead. Thank you. Let me say a couple of words in Mandarin. This is a little bit harder. I'll try my best. 大家好，我的名字是刘杰敏。我今天很荣幸能在这里和大家分享自己的经历和想法。我也很感谢家人和朋友们的鼓励和支持。 让我能勇敢地参加这次的大选。和许多居民一样，我从小到大都是在新加坡成长，我享尽了这个国家的繁荣和安稳。我十分感恩，也希望能将自己多年累积的公务员经验运用在新的领域，继续为人民服务。我也想多认识红帽桥居民的生活的梦想和担忧，帮助大家一起应付生活上的挑战。要守护着我们的国家，我们的新加坡，我觉得我们需要团结一心。我们大家的幸福必须建设在一个彼此尊重、互相扶持、共同感恩的基础上。无论是个人、家庭、社区或者国家，我们不能缺少周围同胞们的力量。我希望在未来的路程上，我有机会和各位一起建造一个温馨、能够携手面对未来和外来风险的家园。谢谢大家的支持。
Thank you, Jasmine. Victor.
Good morning, I am Victor Lai 天发，大家早上好。我在社区服务了26年，帮助了好多有需要的家庭，理解我们国民每天的挑战。过去13年，我带领了人民行动党爱尼集选区团队，参加了2次大选。不管大选结果如何，我们尽力继续为我们居民服务，带领他们的信任。我有超过30年的政府政策，还有商业领导经验。我希望能聆听我们国民的心声，跟他们一起建设一个更团结、更关爱、更美好的新加坡。I've been a community volunteer for 26 years. I've walked the ground relentlessly, even when times are difficult. With my government and business experience, I believe I can bring to the table policy understanding, as well as the impact of policies on the daily lives of Singaporeans, our people. I was appointed branch chairman in 2012, after many years of serving in the community. In essence, I have served 3 terms, but not in Parliament, leading our Aljunied team. I have contested 2 general elections, but no matter the odds, we persevered. We never wavered from our core mission, which is to give our Aljunied voters a choice, as we did, coming very close to winning in 2015 and thereafter in 2020. We were standing and facing off the leadership of the opposition team. We work constantly to win the trust of our people, not at election time, but right after every election and in between every election. We have done our best. In the PAP, we work as one team, whether in the PAP wards or in the opposition wards. I salute our branch chairs. I salute our activists for their continued resolve to give the voters in the opposition wards a choice. And in that, I also thank the residents of Aljunied who know me and have built relations with me, even from children to NS men and now working adults. That's how long we have been there. I especially also thank our former MPs, Ms. Ng Ling Ling and Mr. Gan Thiam Poh, for serving our Ang Mo Kio residents all these years. I understand, having served in an opposition ward, the voters' dilemma. It is quite clear they want a PAP government, but in a way, lured by the opposition call to be a check on the PAP, to make the PAP work harder. But as the Chinese saying goes, 杀鸡取卵. You may have one vote, but please, if you do not use it well, the outcome can be quite damaging for our future. The stakes in 2025 are high. The world is in chaos. As an economist, former policymaker, and a business person, I know the grave challenges we face. It's a different world. I want to uphold the trust between our people and government. I want our children, your children, to have a fair start in life. I want our families to lead productive, happy, healthy lives. I want our seniors to live with purpose and dignity. This SG60, let us not forget, we must keep Singapore special, going on for many more years to come. And with that, we need to choose honest, competent, and trusted leaders. I ask all Singaporeans to work with us to keep Singapore special. I want to thank all the residents I've met in Ang Mo Kio in the last weeks. I've walked with you, I've connected with you. I know the place well. I used to live in Ang Mo Kio. But we are doing this not just for Ang Mo Kio. We are doing this as one PAP team for the whole of Singapore. I want to say that if elected, I will work and always do my best together with our Ang Mo Kio teammates to build a better Singapore for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, SM. Good morning, everyone. I'm Daryl, and for the past 10 years, I've had the privilege to serve in Ang Mo Kio GRC as a Member of Parliament. It's been 10 years in Ang Mo Kio GRC, but my relationship with Ang Mo Kio really goes back more than 47 years now, when as an 8-year-old child, I first moved into Block 306 back in the 1970s. My wife and I, our first home was in Ang Mo Kio, that round block, the iconic round block in Block 259 in Ang Mo Kio. Our children were born here, we're raised here, we're still living here, and we are going to be here for quite a few more years. So for me, Ang Mo Kio is not just a GRC, a constituency, a town. It's an indelible part of my life. Another place that's been a part of my life for the past 10 years is my ward of Ang Mo Kio, Hougang, which is largely Hougang, a housing estate where I've had the privilege to serve as MP for the past 10 years. We've built up a strong sense of community in Hougang, whether it's through our Meet the People sessions or our events or meeting residents in a walkabout. And I've really grown to be a part of the place and come to love the place as my second home. I talked about community, and one initiative that we're very proud of in Ang Mo Kio Hougang is what we call Bag to School, which is where we get our Ang Mo Kio Hougang residents to contribute a bag, an actual school bag with stationery and the bag itself for children who are finishing kindergarten and going into primary 1, to allow them to have that start, to start primary 1 with all their essentials, and these are usually children from the lower income families. I bring this up because it's one example of how, rather than just get money from big patrons or sponsors, the community has come together to support members of that community who need that support. And through this, we've built what I call the ABCs of community in Ang Mo Kio Hougang, which is you assist the community by bonding them together, and through that, you actually create a sense of community. I've also had the privilege of working very closely with Ang Mo Kio Town Council in the last 2 terms. From 2015 to 2020, I was the vice chairman of Ang Mo Kio Town Council. And then for the past 5 years, I took on the role of chairman of the Town Council. I will not lie, the Town Council work is challenging, it is tough, it is hard. And I want to just say a big thank you to the Town Council team for all the hard work they have put in. But I've also realized that the Town Council is more than just about making sure that the lifts work efficiently, the void decks are swept clean, and that all the municipal matters are handled. We've taken on roles at a role at a much higher level as well in terms of how we can improve the entire environment for the residents of the entire Ang Mo Kio town. So, for example, we have worked on the Remaking Our Heartlands program, where just across the road from where we are, we spent a significant amount of time redeveloping, revitalizing, recreating Ang Mo Kio Town Centre into a very vibrant place. And matter of fact, a big person who played a role in that is also my colleague here today, who's Mr. Henry Quek, the Vice Chairman of Ang Mo Kio Town Council. So big thank you to Henry for leading our team there. We've also improved homes in Ang Mo Kio Town as well. Things like building sheltered walkways, more barrier-free access to improve the lives of our residents here, both those who are of younger generation and the elderly as well, for whom barrier-free access is very, very important. And we've also worked towards building that sense of inclusivity and community. We have, I think, as I mentioned, water parks that have been built in Jalan Kayu, and another one coming up in Ang Mo Kio Hougang, and a sports in precinct program, which is going to be coming up in Yio Chu Kang and in Ang Mo Kio Hougang as well. So I think that's how we have worked together with the Town Council in partnership with our various agencies, in partnership with the residents as well, to create and improve the overall environment for Ang Mo Kio Town. It's been an honor to be invited to have the opportunity to join the Ang Mo Kio GRC candidate team alongside SM Lee, Nadia, Jasmine, Victor. And if given the chance, I look forward to continuing to serve the residents of Ang Mo Kio GRC, not just at the Town Council, but in every area that I possibly can. Thank you very much.
Nadia?
Hi everyone, my name is Nadia and I've served as the MP for the Cheng San Seletar Ward in Ang Mo Kio over the past 5 years. I'm very grateful for having this chance to serve Singaporeans and thank PM Wong for having me as part of his team, our anchor SM, who is very well loved by many Ang Mo Kio residents, my amazing team on the ground, especially the many youth who have come forward to walk alongside me, as well as, of course, my dearest residents. It's a privilege to be able to go through life with you, the highs and lows, and watch children and grandchildren grow up. I don't take your trust lightly. I was reflecting back to the last time we were here 5 years ago, and that was when COVID-19 had hit us. There was a real sense of anxiety in the room and on the ground as to how or if we would make it together as a country. On the ground, we abided by social distancing rules, but we also felt the impact of social isolation very deeply, especially in an elderly ward. We wanted our seniors to feel comfortable and confident to be able to step out of their homes as the social distancing restrictions eased. For seniors who were more active, we've launched various active aging programs. We also door knock more than 16,000 homes every year for World Mental Health Day to invite seniors to come down. We've launched Calm Corners. We'll be launching them in every zone as a place of respite with a list of helplines available to encourage you to please stay and know that help is a call away if you need any. For seniors who are more isolated, we also have a dedicated befriending team who celebrate birthdays, accompany them on medical checkups. We visit them in hospital during tough times, and even accompany them on their final rites if they have no children. My seniors really mean a lot to me. We know that cost of living is also top of mind. We've launched various meal distributions and grocery support, including vegetables grown in our own community garden, to ensure that there's food security here in Ang Mo Kio, as well as the SG60 breakfast clubs this year in both our public and private estates. One other big change since the last time I was here before you is that my husband and I have become parents to an adorable but very cheeky boy, something that Jasmine and I often talk about. 在这我非常感谢我的居民。去年我怀孕的时候，不止我在照顾您，您也很关心我。最近我走走在巴萨还是做家访的时候，我的居民每次问我，哦，可以让我看一个照片吗？你的宝贝，所以我真的很感动，谢谢大家。I've advocated for more health, for more support for fertility health, whether for singles or for families, and we'll work hard so that Singapore will always be a place where equitable access to opportunities is granted to our children. In Cheng San Selita, we support students through mentoring, academic programs, a community scholarship for sandwiched families, with priority given to those who have to work part-time, our annual exam care pack giveaway, my Explorer program for children to discover their own talents and passions, and more. On the infrastructure front, I think Darryl has covered some of it, SM as well. You can read more in our Town Council Master Plan, but I'm very much looking forward to our refreshed Cheng San CC opening soon. And we've also been able to refresh both the Cheng San and Chong Boon markets and food center over this term. Looking forward to silver upgrading program and many more to come. In terms of connectivity, we're also doing more to ease congestion, especially in terms of the CTE. So looking at how we can better upgrade in terms of from Seletar Hills to Yio Chu Kang Road, as well as the North-South Corridor and the various MRT lines. 5 years on from the last crisis, we find ourselves yet again in turbulent waters. An unstable global environment fractures our multicultural society even further. Being part of this team for the past 5 years, I've seen the commitment, capacity, and competence of this PAP team in being able to navigate our country and keep our people safe. I humbly hope for the chance to continue serving you and your families and speaking up in Parliament for things that matter to you, from housing to Singapore's place in the world, environment to affordability, and championing women and youth. Let's keep going for a brighter future together. If I may, just a few words in Malay. Salam sejahtera semua, saya Nadia. Saya amat bersyukur dengan kepercayaan yang anda telah memberi kepada saya dan pasukan PAP di Ang Mo Kio untuk menyuarakan keprihatinan anda di Parlimen dan juga membantu anda mengharungi cabaran harian. Dengan kerjasama anda, kami telah membina sebuah Ang Mo Kio yang lebih mesra untuk warga emas kita, yang kondusif untuk keluarga dan yang peka terhadap isu kesihatan fizikal dan mental. Pada GE ini, dengan rendah hati, saya memohon sekali lagi sokongan anda untuk meneruskan khidmat kami sebagai pasukan PAP. Kami akan terus melaksanakan program dan menyuarakan isu-isu yang dekat kepada hati anda, seperti memastikan harga rumah terus dimampui, membuka lebih banyak peluang laluan pendidikan untuk belia, prospek pekerjaan, kos sara hidup dan isu-isu global. Ini antara isu yang kami akan terus menyuarakan dan saya sekali lagi mohon sokongan anda. Terima kasih.
Thanks, Nadia. Jimmy?
Hi, good morning. I'm Ng Chee Meng. I'll be contesting in the Jalan Kayu SMC. First off, let me thank Tiampo and Ling Ling for the solid work done in the neighborhoods and the team for creating a wonderful kampong spirit that I've seen. For the past few weeks, I've been walking in the Jalan Kayu and Fernvale neighborhoods, just visiting homes, catching up with residents at the void decks, and just having good conversations with them at the coffee shops and the community spaces. These conversations have given me a much better sense of what matters to the residents of Jalan Kayu SMC. Many residents have opened up to me and shared with me about their hopes for the children, the concerns for the aged parents, and simply their aspirations for a better life. One particular conversation struck me deeply. A single mother shared candidly with me about her struggle to balance work and care for her special needs 30-plus-year-old daughter. given the cost of living issues, well, my heart went out to her. And I've been listening closely. One thing out of these few weeks is clear to me. Residents in Jalan Kayu SMC want someone who listens and is prepared to take real action to help them build a better home. I'm stepping forward in this general election because I want to serve. My public service has always been about people. In my own NTUC story that SM has mentioned somewhat, I fought for workers in difficult times like COVID or in peacetime. Whether it was helping delivery riders injured on the job or to have CPF contributions, securing better pay for the lower wage workers, pushing for flexible work arrangements for the caregivers, or championing for a level playing field for the professionals, the managers, and the executives. These efforts were not just about policy, but really about people, real lives, real challenges. Some have asked me in my interactions, why return to politics after the last election? My answer is a simple one, because I've never stopped caring. When I came to the Fernvale Carnival a few weeks ago, a couple came up to me with wide smiles and asked a very interesting question that some of us on the ground always get. Mr. Ng, do you remember me? Well, in this instance, I said, yes, I remember you. You were my former resident in Punggol. And I recall that you are an engineer, that I managed to help you match to a job 6-7 years ago. And you came down as a couple, especially to thank me at a lunch event in the hot sun. The wife was incredulous that I could really remember. And in the fun of the Fernvale Carnival, we had a most wonderful moment together, sharing a laugh together. I was so happy to see them having settled now nicely into Fernvale with the kids all grown up. I will bring this same heart and commitment to serve in Jalan Kayu SMC if I were to be elected. I want to be of use to the residents and to be able to be alongside them. If given the opportunity to represent Jalan Kayu SMC, I will do my best to improve the lives of residents, whether it is better facilities for the children, better transport connectivity, or more accessible sports facilities. So let me humbly say this to the residents of Jalan Kayu SMC. Let us work together to upgrade our estates in Fernvale and Jalan Kayu, build vibrant corners where friendships can grow, and strengthen our care networks. I humbly ask for your trust to walk this journey with you. Your hopes, your ideas, even your struggles, they all matter deeply to me. Let's build a Jalan Kayu SMC that is kinder, stronger, and more inclusive. Let me say a few words in Mandarin too. 有人问我为什么再一次参选，我的答案跟以往不变，为国效力，为民服务。过去几个星期，我在惹兰加油和芬威尔邻里走访，我聆听了许多居民与我分享他们的生活情况和他们的想法。其中让我印象最深刻的是和一位单亲妈妈交谈，她和我分享了她如何兼顾工作和照顾她有特殊需求的30多岁的女儿，生活真的不容易。我体会到的是，居民希望有人聆听他们的心声，他们更希望有人以实际行动帮助他们。我会用心和用行动帮助居民解决问题，改善环境，共同打造一个充满温馨和爱心的家园。我希望我的诚心和努力能得到居民的支持。
Henry?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Kwek Kin Chuan, and also called as Henry. It's an honor to be fielded back to Kebun Baru SMC. I'll start off by saying that thanking our people for putting their trust in my team and me. We've built a better home, brick by brick, heart by heart. We have transformed Kebun Baru in the last decade into a lush and beautiful home. And as part of the wider Ang Mo Kio family, our plans will be laid out in our manifesto, which we'll share after nomination day. We have also built Kebun Baru into a very caring home. Over a dozen programs of social work, hundreds of volunteers, and thousands of lives touched. And we remain Kebun Baru for families, for young families as more of them moved in. We're helping our people thrive in the age of AI. But we are not done building Kebun Baru. Our best years are ahead of us. And let me share with you 3 priorities shaped by the hopes, concerns, and the dreams of our people if we are given the chance by the people again. First, managing cost of living. Many families feel the strain, even with government support, and that's why I'll continue calling for sustained national support for the necessary essential for as long as necessary, and that's why efforts like the HDB Budget Meal Program, which I put helpful sure, also matters. And here in Kebun Baru, we work with our hawkers, our charities, our supermarkets to support the most vulnerable among us with free groceries, supermarket vouchers, hawker meals, student bursaries, and we extend them to even more from the sandwich class. And we work to keep our merchants, especially our hawkers, prices fair. And I'll keep pushing for housing to be even more affordable and accessible for families, singles, and seniors. The second part is healthy longevity. We already introduced assisted living in Block 115 for our most vulnerable failed seniors. And now we're working with all our active aging centers to fuse healthcare with the warmth and the care of the community. But beyond this, we are also bringing the best minds, talking about scientists, doctors, innovators, to help not just seniors in the 60s, but even young seniors and even people above 40. They won't just give talks. They will join us in workshops, fitness workshops, sessions, and informal meetups to help us live longer, live better, age well together. At Kebun Baru, we don't just talk about ideas. We test them, we refine them, and then we advocate what works nationally. Because we know that how we do something matters just as much as what we do. And our final priority is to prepare our people for a changed world. We all know there's growing concerns about the jobs, about the economy, about lasting global instability. And in this phase of reality, the role of an MP must be to listen closely with the workers, the business owners, the parents. Their lived experience must shape compassionate, practical policy. And if the current global crisis prove as disruptive as COVID, timely and effective response must be mobilized, responses that protect livelihoods and our most vulnerable. Together, these efforts prepare us for our future, and the future for us begins here in Kebun Baru, where families thrive, where seniors age with purpose and dignity, and where we build a home that holds the dream of our children. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Yip Hon Wing. I'm honored to be fielded once again by the Prime Minister as the candidate for Yio Chu Kang SMC in the upcoming general election. When I stepped forward in 2020, I was new to politics, but had one clear purpose: to serve with humility, to listen with intent, and to act with heart. Over the past 5 years, I have walked alongside our residents, in the market, at their doorsteps, and across the estate. Yio Chu Kang may be one of Singapore's oldest estates, but it has one of the strongest kampong spirit. And together, we will make that spirit even stronger. We brought care closer to our seniors with the new AWA Senior Care Centre at Block 609 and Tzu Chi's Food Pharmacy and free dental care services at Block 121. We've launched the Residence Hub at Lentor to promote active aging. Yio Chu Kang also became Singapore's first fully dementia-friendly neighborhood, not just in infrastructure, but in mindset and culture. We've upgraded HDB homes enhanced Lentor and Yio Chu Kang Gardens through the estate upgrading program, and made our roads safer with the Silver Zone at Ang Mo Kio Street 61. We strengthened community ties through initiatives like free vaccination, food rescue, and the Kedai, a shop that gives out essentials to those in need. But our work is far from done. In the years ahead, our seniors will age with dignity through the upcoming Silver Upgrading Program. Families will enjoy improved estates, vibrant playgrounds, sheltered laneways, a new sports park, and a revitalized town centre. A new community club designed to bring together people of all ages and interests is also on the way. This is the story of Yio Chu Kang, but it's also an example of what thoughtful governance, strong partnerships, and sustained care can achieve across Singapore. In Parliament, I've filed over 500 parliamentary questions on the cost of living, on the economy, education, senior care, digital scams, fire safety, and more. I've also championed local concerns like lift upgrading, NSC works, MRT noise, and bus service improvements. It is my conviction that policy must always connect back to people, and I've remained engaged and walked the ground. As we face a more complex and uncertain world, the question is not who makes promises, but who walks the journey with you, who builds trust, who stays the course. If entrusted with your mandate again, I will continue to serve with clarity, courage, and compassion for you, for a future that lifts all of us together. Thank you.
Thanks, Hon Wing. Take some questions.
Okay. First
Yes.
from the
Good morning, SM. It's Yunzo from Zaopao. I have a few questions on the PAP's renewal. So this is the first GE that Secretary Lawrence Wong is leading. And what's your assessment of his selection of new candidates? And secondly, so with the 32 new faces introduced, there are also a number of MPs who are stepping down, who have after serving just one term. So I'd like to get SM's views on that. And the PAP, with its message of renewal this time, is also redeploying veterans like Hong Chuang and Mr. Victor Lai to some so-called, some wards that are deemed to be safer. So I'd like to get SM's views on this, and what's your response to the risk that some voters might view this as giving these veterans what they call a consolation prize? And lastly, SM, your own political journey, do you foresee this being your last GE? Thank you.
Okay, I think the PM has worked very hard on getting a good slate for the PAP this time. He presented the new candidates at our manifesto launch on Thursday, and you've seen their faces. I think these are good people. Diverse, committed, passionate, bringing many different backgrounds and experiences, personal histories, and passions. And I have no doubt that they will do a good job for Singapore. There are 32 new faces. A certain number will be stepping down. It's always difficult for our MPs to step down, especially those who have not served quite so many terms. But it varies from individual to individual, and also it depends on the overall shape of the slate. So there are multiple considerations, and we very much thank the MPs who have participated and done their best and will be retiring at this election. Renewal is a necessary, absolutely essential process. And when you renew the team, you bring new people in, but inevitably, and it has to be so that as new people come in, then some of the old people have to move on. And that's the way it happens to all of us, and one day all of us will have to go. I don't know whether this is my last term, that's up to the PM, but I will serve as long as I'm useful and as long as the PM thinks I'm useful. As for the deployment of candidates like Hong Chuan and Victor, these are decisions which the party makes. We field them in one place, they gain experience. Sometimes we put them there again, sometimes we move them to another place. It depends on our overall political calculation. These are not consolation prizes. When we field somebody as a candidate, we must make sure that we are completely convinced he is going to do his best for the residents and it is the right candidate for that place. Otherwise, we will not field him. And sometimes candidates are fielded and fielded again in the same place. Sometimes candidates are fielded, may not have got elected. Eventually, well, we didn't field them elsewhere, but we thank them in different ways. Sometimes we field them elsewhere, and we believe that in the new places, they will make a different contribution and something valuable. So I fully expect Hong Chuan and Victor and Chi Meng, for that matter, to be full members of the team and to bring to my team not only their experience working their ground, but their experience having fought, not succeeded, and had the grit to come back and fight again. And I think that's something valuable which we treasure in our activists.
SM, may I add to
Yes,
what
Victor.
you just said? Thank you, SM. You're very kind, but I feel I need to speak up, not just for me, but for every PAP candidate that is in so-called existing opposition wards. We walk the ground, we do the work, and we respect the decisions of the party. And I can say that for each and every one of them, past and present, I give them my fullest respect for taking the risk, fighting on no matter what the odds, and serving our residents to the best of our ability. So it is with respect and honor that I follow where the party needs me, and no matter where we are, whether in politics or not, you can look at our track record. We are not new. And therefore, I say, we stand on our own as individuals first and foremost, but together as one team with the party, and we will serve where Singapore needs us. Thank you.
Chi Meng?
Well, maybe let me say a few words to respond to. Where I'm contesting is decided by the party. Yes, I have given my inputs, and fundamentally, if I were to be elected back into Parliament, I would like to be on my own merit. I would want to be able to win the trust of residents and to be able to be alongside them for the next 5 years. So I welcome the opportunity that the Prime Minister has given me in Jalan Kayu SMC. My focus now is really to listen deeply about the residents' needs, to be able to start co-creating upon their ideas how to make Jalan Kayu SMC, the Fernvale and the Jalan Kayu neighborhoods a better home for them. And importantly, to create stories for the young ones growing up there so that they can enjoy what I have enjoyed in my generation in a more and more vibrant Singapore. For the workers, for the professionals in Jalan Kayu SMC, we all know that headwinds are coming. The issues of a trade war, depressed economic potential in the future will have impact on job security, even jobs availability for the younger ones graduating out of school. So I'm focused on that to see how we can both from the neighborhood aspects in terms of creating better facilities to the next step of maybe of more importance of livelihoods of the residents there. I will bring all that I have from my NTUC experience to help workers in job security, in job creation if necessary, and should the worst case scenario come, job transition support and all the things we have done in COVID as well.
Next, yes.
This is Olivia from CNA. SM, I would like to ask you, given the context that the PAP is fielding the most number of new faces in decades at this election, and there are also veterans like Defence Minister Ng Eng Hen stepping down, what role do you see yourself playing as senior minister for the first time in this election, and after handing over the reins to PM Wong? Is there anyone you also see stepping into the important role in the future as Defence Minister? My next question also is, the Workers' Party's manifesto states that many of the party's proposals do end up being adopted in some form, which ultimately benefits Singaporeans. It also contains a section on policy changes that have been made in recent years. What is your response to this manifesto and the Workers' Party's latest slate of potential candidates versus the PAP's? One more question, if I may. You were the one who brought Sec-Gen Ng Chee Meng into politics some years ago. What is the reason you feel that he should be fielded again in this particular election? Have the reasons changed? And could you share with us a bit more about why field him particularly in Jalan Kayu SMC in this region and not anywhere else, or in a GRC perhaps? Thank you.
Well, my role in the general election is to help the PM to win the election well. And however I can do that, from advice, from presence, from support, from winning votes on the ground, I will do that. It's not as heavy a responsibility as being the PM by far, but whatever I can do to lighten the PM's load, I will do. The Defence Minister, Minister Ng Eng Hen, has said he's retiring. So a new defense minister will be appointed, and we will have to find a new defense minister. The Prime Minister will make the decision. But it just goes to show that it's you're asking the right question, because Singaporeans have got used to ministers being of a certain level, carrying a certain weight. When they speak, they make sense. When they have a view, it's worth listening to. If they have a caution, please take it seriously. We're not just playing games. And Singaporeans expect that quality of our ministers. But to get that quality of our ministers, you must have that quality of MPs and that strength of the team in order to have people from whom the PM can appoint suitable ministers. And in this term, in this election, the PM has brought in some candidates who have the potential to be more than backbenchers and will reinforce his team. And we hope that in the long term, this will ensure that Singapore continues to have high-quality government. And that depends on them getting elected, them winning the trust of Singaporeans, and them showing what they're able to do. But that's something which we have to work on. What do I think of the WP manifesto? Well, it's interesting that the opposition says we have good ideas, the government has adopted them. Well, nobody has a monopoly of good ideas. The government doesn't have a monopoly of good ideas, neither does the opposition. There are ideas which we all talk about. Some of them the opposition don't like, some of them they do, some of them after we have done it, they claim credit for. And to be fair to them, along the way they have pushed for it. Sometimes we decide to do it. Sometimes we have independently made up our minds earlier and implemented it. So I'm not surprised that there are some ideas which we have implemented. I think it's not possible for anybody to be wrong all the time. But I would say, taken as a whole, the PAP manifesto, program, and record is what Singaporeans can trust and go on. It's briefer, it's to the point, it makes promises which we will fulfill, and it will work for Singapore. I think that's the most important thing. The opposition slate, the Workers' Party have got, and I suppose the other parties too, have got new candidates which they have been introducing. Singaporeans will have to judge them and decide what they will be able to do for Singapore. And judge them not just as individuals, but also as a party they stand for, and also to consider carefully that when you vote for an MP, you're not just voting for the person. You are voting for the party which stands behind her or him, and what the party needs by way of support and mandate in order to be able to serve Singapore well. And in the PAP, we are putting forward a good team of people. They are individually, I think, good men and women. But at the same time, we're putting forward a slate whose purpose is to form the government in order to provide the best possible leadership for Singapore. And I hope that that will have Singaporean support. Now, I brought Ng Chee Meng in 2015, and why are we fielding him again? I explained it when I had my intro remarks just now, that Chee Meng served in Punggol Pasir Ris Punggol GRC. He contested in Sengkang GRC last term. He didn't win, but he had the grit and the sense of responsibility to continue serving in the NTUC. And the NTUC supported him. He stood for re-election to the Central Committee. He was re-elected. The Central Committee re-elected him as Secretary General. And I think he's done a good job in the unions during COVID, after COVID, helping with the emergency, also pushing very steadily and resolutely on transformation, upgrading, job security, CPF, gig workers, many important issues for Singaporeans. And Singapore works the PAP, we work very closely with the NTUC. We have a symbiotic partnership. It has served Singapore well, and we have confidence in Chee Meng, and we have decided to field him, and to field him in Jalan Kayu SMC. Where he goes, I have explained some of the considerations. Chee Meng has explained his own preference. In the end, the party made this decision. Yes?
Friends of the media, we'll be taking the last questions and they'll be answered collectively. Thank you.
Yeah, hi, Fabian from CNA Digital here. My question is for SM. You're the longest serving MP now, so how has the election landscape changed, and what's the most challenging aspect of fighting an election now, you would say? And secondly, this is your first election after about 20 years where you're not at the helm. At a more personal level, what's different this time for you, and really, how do you feel about it? Thank you.
What is most challenging? The fact that you're not only fighting the elections in person, but online. In person, when I meet you, I shake hands, I say, please vote for me. I know it's a real person there. And I can ask him, are you from Ang Mo Kio? He says, yes. I know. He says, no. I say, please support me, nevertheless, wherever. Please support the party, nevertheless, wherever you are. But it's a real person. He can feel you, you can feel him. It's not a robot, a humanoid pretending to smile. But online, when you put a post and people like it or dislike it, or say something good or say something bad, you don't know whether it's a real person or a bot. When somebody makes a post, you don't know whether it's a body or a bot. When you see the content, you don't know whether it's real or a deep fake. That's a very different kind of environment. We need new rules. We need people to have to be more conscious of this problem. But it's actually a very difficult thing to expect every ordinary voter to know that when you get a telegram message or WhatsApp message or something there that is real or not real. If it shows me saying, please buy crypto, you can be sure it's not real. That's easy. But if it has me saying something not quite right, looks as if I boo-booed, how do you know whether I really boo-booed or not? So that's a real problem. And 40 years ago when I was contesting in Tegi, I didn't have to think about that problem. Secondly, what's different for me in this election? I'm not the PM. I'm very happy there's a PM in charge, that he has taken over a year ago, that he has settled in well, and he's built his standing, and he's consolidated his team, and Singaporeans have taken to him well. So I go into this election with some sense of satisfaction. Journey not quite complete for me, but a major milestone has been successfully passed. And it's a milestone not just for me, but for Singapore. I think we take one more. Yeah, maybe, yeah, here. Second row.
Hi, good morning to all. Thank you, SM, for taking this last question. Okay, I'm polling from Channel 8 News. Okay, you have been leading the Ang Mo Kio GRC team for the longest time since it was formed. The party talks about renewal, and you will need a successor one day. Do you see anyone who is on your new team has a potential successor? I mean, because residents out there want to know if you have a plan for them. And if possible, would appreciate if you can reply in Chinese. 谢谢。
接班人的问题，领导更新的问题，是一个对新加坡前途来说至关重要的一个问题。为国家，我们需要有新的领导班子；为选区，我们也要为未来做好准备。在国家层面，我已经卸任了。新的总理黄循财先生1年前上任之后，已经稳定了他的支持，已经得到了团队的凝聚了他的团队，已经给新加坡做出一些让新加坡人知道他能够做的事情，所以我很欣慰，我今天不是以总理的身份参加这一次的选举。在选区里，我领导红毛桥的团队很多年了，当然有一天总是必须卸任的时候，这一天到目前还没有到来，但有一天会来的。我们也有一些构想，可能从团队里有新的领导会脱颖而出，可能从另外一个选区或者从或者从另外一届的选举，我们会引进新人到红毛桥的团队。这个还有时间做，并且红毛桥的问题相对来说跟国家的问题来比，比较容易解决，不应该让大家太伤脑筋。所以居民放心，我们是有决心举行领导更新的。时间到的时候，时机成熟的时候，我们肯定把它做得好。